folks, Ms. Gosling here. Today, we are going to be discussing positive and negative charges. By the end of this video, you will be able to describe how charges interact and how the relative magnitude of that interaction can be measured using an electroscope. In nature, objects can have one of two charges. They can be positively charged, like a proton, or like an ion that is missing electrons, or they can be negatively charged, like an electron or an ion with some extra electrons shoved in. Now, objects can also have a neutral charge. However, since neutral charges are not affected by electromagnetic forces, we are not going to worry about them for this unit. So let's talk about how charges interact with each other. And I'm going to start by putting two positive charges together. When we have two charges that have the same sign, so two positive charges, for example, two protons, those two objects are going to repel one another. So they'll move as far away from each other as they can. Similarly, two opposite charges will attract one another. Okay, so now we've reviewed how charges interact with one another. So let's go ahead and talk about the tool that we use to measure electric charge. And that tool is called the electroscope. So an electroscope, very roughly, will measure electric charge and will measure the quantity of electric charge that something has. So here's a picture of our electroscope. Right here is a glass jar. And here we've got a rubber stopper. Rubber, being an insulator, will prevent charge from traveling down the sides of the jar. So that's going to be a really important part of that. We also have a brass knob connected to a brass rod. And so our charges can easily travel up and down the knob and the rod. Finally, at the bottom here, we have two gold plates. And so those are going to be very thin sheets of gold that are very conductive. And because they're so small, they can freely move away from each other or towards each other depending on the amount of charge traveling around our electroscope. Now, the other thing that's really important to know about an electroscope is that the total charge in the electroscope is conserved. So charge is conserved. So if our neutral electroscope has, say, 4 protons and 4 electrons in it, that electroscope will always have 4 of each kind of charge. And it's important that when you're drawing pictures about what's going on in your electroscope that you keep the total charge in the electroscope constant. So let's talk about how our electroscope can be used to measure charge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this charged rod right here, and you can see that it is negatively charged by these 4 negative signs in the rod, and I'm going to move it close to the electroscope. So as you can see, I'm not touching the electroscope. There's some space right here. And when our negative charge is moved close to our electroscope, the electrons in my electroscope, so in that brass rod and knob, are going to move away from that rod. So I'm going to have some charges that are going to move to the bottom of my electroscope. And then that's going to leave my knob positively charged. Of course, not all of the electrons will move, and so I'm going to still have some positives and some negatives kind of around the rest of my electroscope. And what's going to happen is these negative charges are going to travel down the rod into these gold foils, and my gold foil will be repelled from each other because remember, like charges repel. Now, this is all well and good, but how can this be used to quantitatively measure charge? There's no numbers involved, right? So you're not going to get a numerical reading from your electroscope. Instead, we can use it to measure relative charge. And by that, I mean we can measure how charged two objects are relative to one another. So let's go ahead to another example. Now, in the second example, I have a rod that is more charged than my initial rod. And I know this because in my picture, I have more negative signs on this rod than I did on the earlier one. So what that means is that this rod is going to push even more electrons down my brass rod and into these gold leaves. So while the first one I said about 3 electrons went down, I'm going to draw more here. I'm going to draw 5 electrons on each gold piece of gold foil. A few more down here, a bunch up at the top, of course, and a few hanging out in the middle. So what's going to happen is my 2 pieces of gold foil are going to move even farther away from each other than they did in my first picture. And so what this is showing me is that this rod number 2 is more charged than rod number 1. So what an electroscope can't tell you is how much charge an object has. However, what it can tell you is how much charge 2 objects have relative to one another. And it does that by the amount that the gold foil leaves move away from each other. So the farther away the leaves move, the more charged the object is. Now, it also can't tell you whether an object has a positive or a negative charge, because in both situations, our leaves will have the same charge, and so they will still move away from each other. So what I mean by that is if this was a positively charged rod here, my electrons would be attracted to it, leaving my leaves positively charged. And so, of course, my leaves are still going to repel from one another because they have the charges have the same sign, and like charges repel no matter what their actual sign is. Okay, so let's talk takeaways. So these are the important things that you need to remember from this video. So first, there are 2 kinds of charge, positive and negative charges. We can also have neutral charges, but they aren't going to feel electric fields or electric forces. Second, opposites attract and like charges repel. And finally, electroscopes can be used to measure relative charge. And they do this by having the foil move different amounts based off of the amount of charge that is near the electroscope.